needless to say, we're trying to do everything we can to try to hopefully prevent young people from getting into the criminal justice system, in particular first offenders in particular. And you guys come on in. And if you don't mind, we'll just stand up here since all of your fathers had our commitment to introduce yourselves to as we come in. But we're doing all that we can, at least in the city of Durham, to try to prevent young adults from getting into criminal justice system. And Marcia Moore's, Judge Moore's program really addressed it, young people 16 years below. What you see this morning is that we're talking about young adults in ages 18 through 21. So before I get any more, why don't we introduce ourselves to Michael up and say who you represent.
Roger Eccles, District Attorney.
I'm the Durham Department Director of the Durham County Criminal Justice Resource Center.
Tom Bonfield, Durham City Manager.
Lawrence Campbell, Public Defender.
Marsha Murray, Chief of Support Judge.
Jose Lopez, Chief of Police, City of Durham.
Donald Ladd, Chief Deputy representing Mike Andrew, Sheriff of Durham County.
Wendell Davis, Durham County Manager.
Lowell Seiler, Durham County Attorney.
Michael Page, Durham County Commissioner, Chair.
And I know one person that's missing from the attorney is our city attorney, Patrick Baker, who's also been involved in this committee. So that's right, the Supreme Court Judge Orlando Hudson has also been, Superior Court Judge has been involved also. So I'm going to stop there and actually turn it over to Judge Borre, and I'm sure Ruben will follow her, and then we'll have opportunity for any questions and answers you might have. Good morning.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it. Welcome, everyone. Glad you're here today. This is a big deal. About a year and a half ago, we started the program in Durham, which we call the Misdemeanor Diversion Program for 16 and 17-year-olds. And one reason we started this is because North Carolina has the youngest age in which a person is considered to be an adult. 16th birthday, you are an adult for any type of criminal charge. That could be littering, it could be marijuana, it could go up to felonies. So to try to look at that, how do we prevent these young people from having that first criminal charge, which can be debilitating for a public record, if they try to get employment, if they're trying to get financial aid to go to college, even their housing can be in jeopardy if they get that first criminal charge. So after a year, we've had 116 16, 17-year-olds in this misdemeanor diversion program. All but one has been successful. We have had a 98% success rate. Only 7 have had any new criminal charges since that time. But the most important thing is we hold them accountable. The law enforcement officers have discretion to send them to this program or to go ahead and make a criminal charge. The kids that have come into this have to come to a court session. They have to go to a community service agency. And within 3 months, we report back to law enforcement, thank you for the referral. They have been successful. The officer will not do any formal charges. It's helping save their futures. With that, and with the success we've had, with the cooperation of everyone, I mean, this is a joint effort of the city, the county. It's marvelous to see everyone so involved and understanding. We want to save these kids, Durham's youth. Now to expand it up to 21-year-old for the same criteria. It has to be a misdemeanor. Officers will have discretion. There will be exceptions. No traffic matters can be referred. No offenses involving firearms, and no offenses with sexual allegations. Basically, we're talking about misdemeanor marijuana. We may be talking about shoplifting, disorderly conduct, underage drinking, minor offenses that have major consequences in these kids' lives. So I'm proud to be a part of this. We couldn't do it without everyone coming to the table and realizing how important it is for the youth of our city. Other districts across the state are looking to expand this into their jurisdictions, and we will offer any support because we think it's important for the future of our youth. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge Borre. I'm going to ask Ruben Baldwin if she might come up and speak a little bit about her involvement and how it fits into this program.
Mayor Bell asked me to tell you a little bit about the nuts and bolts of this new program. And the Criminal Justice Resource Center has been providing services to the adult population that is involved in the criminal justice system for many years. And one of the programs that we have recently been involved in is the Misdemeanor Diversion program for 16 and 17-year-olds. So this new program is designed and tailored around the 16, 17-year-old program, but it is not an expansion. It is a separate program. Law enforcement will make contact during an incident and then determine whether this person will meet criteria for this new program. This means no prior adult criminal record, no arrests, no convictions. If the victim agrees, the law enforcement officer will refer the person to the Criminal Justice Resource Center. The law enforcement officer will complete an incident report and turn it in at their agency, and the person is instructed to report to the Criminal Justice Resource Center within 48 hours. The Criminal Justice Resource Center staff will conduct an interview, verify the eligibility. We will do another record check, make sure that there is no adult criminal record, and then assign this person to a diversion program. They will also be assigned to a court session. And once a month, we will have a court session specifically for this program, where the participants will observe a court hearing and then have a conversation with the presiding judge and court officials around the unintended consequences of an adult criminal record. The persons will have about 90 days to complete a program. We will have workshops that are tailored around the charges that brought the participants to the program. So alcohol and drug education classes, employment, workforce initiatives, mediation and conflict resolution, communication skills, a variety of workshops will be offered. Upon completion, we will report back to the referring law enforcement officer to say that the person has been compliant and that they have completed. If a person refuses to participate or does not complete, we will also refer back to law enforcement, and then the officer will have the option of proceeding with charges. Thank you.
Thank you, Gudrun. And if you notice that Gudrun referenced the law enforcement quite a bit in the program, and they're very, very key because they generally the first point of contact for the young people we're talking about. So I think at this time it might be appropriate to at least have the police chief and the sheriff to indicate what they've done in terms of training their officers to be a part of this program. And I don't know if Chief, you want to speak first?
Well, at Durham Police Department, it's been a week that we've already started doing online classes for the officers. We put together a program through our intranet, and that pretty much explains not only the philosophy that we have based on this program, but also the method that they have to use in order to write their reports and refer individuals, and explains the entire program to them. The training is starting, and we should have 100% completion by the beginning of October, the 1st of October. And we're going to move on, explain to our officers what it is that the police department feels in reference to the diversion. It's been our philosophy that whatever we can do to minimize arrest, especially for individuals who make the mistake that I think everyone in this room possibly have made in their lives that could have caused them to have a negative interaction with law enforcement, that in fact an opportunity is given so that these individuals can redirect their lives and hopefully not have any other issues occur, and they can move on with life. So that's basically where we're at. Sure.
Mine's going to be very simple, everything he said, which we've got going on within our agency as well. And I want to reiterate that point of a mistake and a path or a process now to solve that mistake. Thank you.
I don't know if anyone else wants to step up and make any comments. If you do, feel free. If not, then we're open for any Q&A questions that you might have from the press that's out there.
Right now, there is no cost for this. The county, the city, especially the Criminal Justice Resource Center. We got a grant from the Governor's Crime Commission to pay for the coordinator we currently have. There may be cost down the road, but there's no cost to any participant. And yes, we do work around their schedules. We don't want to interrupt, school or work. And Kelly Andrew, who's currently doing our coordination for the younger kids, has done a great job of staying in touch, working around what meets their needs and so.
Okay, great, thank you.
And this cost bit is important too, because initially we're starting the program at no additional cost, but if it looks like the numbers exceed what we expect, then obviously we're going to have to look at additional resources to make that happen. There's another question.
Essentially you're giving someone a second chance, if they made a mistake, but how do you see this preventing crime in the future going forward?
Well, let me say this, we don't, I don't want to indicate that everybody that has their first offense goes on to be a criminal, gets involved in the criminal justice system. What we're hoping is that it serves as a deterrent for things they might have in mind. Because one of the experiences that we had, this ad hoc committee had, is that we had an opportunity to sit in on one of the mock trials that Judge Maury holds. And I'll tell you, if you go in and listen to that, I think it'll do an awful lot to deterring you from getting involved in the criminal justice system. And what we hope also, this is the word of mouth. You've got young people to get into this program. Hopefully they'll go back and tell their friends their experience and what they did to avoid them from getting in there also. So I think ultimately it should have a reduction in crime for individuals that potentially might want to do that. But the big issue we have right now is trying to prevent young adults from getting into the criminal justice system, and as a result, having all of the things that goes along with them when they're in that. This isn't a cure-all by any stretch of the imagination. As I indicated, this is one recommendation that the Human Relations Commission suggested we look at, and we've done that, and we're now trying to implement it on the scale that's been described here this morning.
What is the program's capacity?
Well, I think initially we looked at about 60 individuals. That's where we were, 60. And we felt, at least they felt at this time, that the staff they had on board could handle that. But again, if it gets beyond that, we certainly look at it. But what's important is Judge Maury's program has been highly successful. I mean, when you think about 100+ individuals having gone through the program and only one having maybe failed, that's a tremendous track record. And hopefully, if it looks like this continues with the program that we now have, and it looks like more people are coming into it, I'm pretty sure that persons involved will somehow try to find the resources to support.
And just looking at the numbers from a report that was done on marijuana arrests for the following Human Relations Commission's recommendation, it seems there are a lot of people that have prior convictions and other associated charges. Do you feel like this is really, there's going to be enough arrests that fit into this category?
Well, let me say this. I would hope that zero will get into it.
Right.
So because people are choosing not to put themselves in a position where they would get into it. But if it doesn't, then we're going to try to accommodate it. And I think, again, the point is first offenders. We're not getting into persons who've been committing other types of crimes. That's a separate issue. And we try to not bite off any more than we can chew. The recommendation from the Human Relations Commission is low-level marijuana arrests. What you see, we expanded to just not just marijuana, includes shoplifting and some other things. But it's any first-time offense that would put a young person into criminal justice system is what we're trying to avoid.
So do you feel like this adequately addresses the Human Relations Commission recommendation?
Well, you have to ask the Human Relations Commission about that. I think it does, but by the same token, this is a committee report.